Changan Philippines lent us this CS35 Plus. What makes this different though is that this unit, this one that you're looking at right now, has been driven over 100,000 kilometers. That's right, if you look at the odometer in this unit, it's over 100,000 kilometers, which is a really bold statement for us to be test driving a unit that has driven that much. The only difference between this and what you can get off the showroom is that the instrument cluster and the head unit here is in Chinese. Whereas when you buy from the local dealer, it's going to be in English. But other than that, the car that you see here, the engine, the transmission, all of it is what you're going to be getting. With that out of the way, let's talk about the Changan CS35 Plus. I like the styling of this car. The proportions are big. It's very SUV-like. The Changan CS35 Plus is powered by a 1.4-liter gasoline engine, and it comes with a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. This is loaded with a lot of safety features. Not only does it have ABS, it also has electric brake force distribution, it has stability control, it has the airbags, and it has hill start and hill descent control. When you consider the safety feature it has, it's really bang for the buck. What you'll be getting also with the Changan CS35 Plus is a 4-inch LCD display on the instrument cluster up front and a 10-inch infotainment system in the middle. We weren't able to test the mirror link on this unit, nor were we able to look through the menus of the instrument cluster. But in terms of screen quality, the 4-inch display, it's not bad, but it's not impressive either. The 10-inch infotainment system display is good. Overall, the interior of the CS35 Plus is really impressive. The leather's good, the steering feels good, the plastics used, the design's really well implemented. If you see it in person, you'll be impressed. And the fact that this has been used for 100,000 plus kilometers says a lot. But at the same time, you also have to remember, when it comes to interior, only time will really tell if it will last long. I did say though, overall, which means there were a few things in this car that I felt like were either missed opportunities or things that could be improved on. Some of these few things are that I wish the gear shift knob had a more satisfying clicks between the gears. And I also wish that it felt sturdier, because at least in this unit, it felt on the loose side. But other than that, the interior is fantastic, especially at its price point. It has a 60-40 split. There's a lot of trunk room if you have all the seats up. So I'm a 5'11" guy entering the car. There's a lot of headroom in this car. That's what I like about it. It's hard to compete for this much headroom and shoulder room. I wish though that it folded flat, because now that I'm looking here, it doesn't fold flat. When it comes to the practicality of the interior of the Changan CS35 Plus, it is a very practical car. The only missed opportunity I'd say is when you fold the seats down on the Changan CS35 Plus, it doesn't make a flatbed. Overall, I say that the Changan CS35 Plus has a really good interior. With 100,000 kilometers on the odometer, the biggest question is, how does this car feel after all those travels? I guess we should start off with, what are the things that the Changan CS35 Plus can improve on? Aside from like some interior quality stuff like this shift knob over here, I wish it felt more satisfying to the click, because it feels spongy. I wish there was some more satisfying click. And like what I said a while ago, what I didn't like was the implementation of the aircon system. It has these capacitive switches. I don't know how long they will work on the long run. I guess I'm more of a Titos of Manila kind of guy where I rather have mechanical switches. So some people might like this. I'm not part of that group. I rather have mechanical switches. I'm not saying that the dual clutch transmission on the Changan CS35 Plus is bad. In fact, especially when you consider that this car has driven 100,000 plus kilometers, it's good. I'll say this though, on driving on the highway, driving up downhill, there were moments where I could feel that the transmission was guessing what to do. So when it comes to traffic, there were moments that the car felt like it was like deciding, should I go, should I stay, should I go, should I stay? It was those moments where the transmission felt like it was indecisive, that it could be improved on. And for me, I think automatic transmission would have done a better job. Another con for me, and it's not big, but when you buy these kinds of cars, you're definitely looking at fuel efficiency. And after our testing, the Changan CS35 Plus isn't impressive when it comes to fuel efficiency. And at its class, I've tested really fuel efficient cars at this price point. For the Changan CS35 Plus, as far as efficiency is concerned, nothing really impressive. It's not a gas guzzler, but there's nothing home to write to with the Changan CS35 Plus. So I guess the safe answer is, when it comes to fuel efficiency, the Changan CS35 Plus is okay at best. No, it sounds like I'm really being critical in the car, and I am. But now that we're done talking about the cons or the things I didn't like about this car, now I want to talk about the things I like about this car. I love the interior space that this car offers. At its class, it offers so much interior space. So yes, the design may not be as athletic or as cool as the other cars in its price category, but its understated looks allows it to have a lot more headroom, and I appreciate that. It feels roomy in this car. And I also like the dashboard design. It's so clean, it's so elegant. I really love the approach. And when you look at the fit and finish at its price point, it's really impressive. One thing I'm really impressed with this car, and I can't say it enough, is how it feels when it comes to the steering. Whether you look at it at a 100,000 kilometer point of view or like in a brand new point of view, the steering on the Changan CS35 Plus is excellent. It really hits the Goldilocks spot. It's not too light, it's not too heavy. It's just right. And like what I say, when it comes to how a car feels, I believe that steering really makes or breaks the feeling of a car. So with the Changan CS35 Plus, with a steering like this that feels safe, confident, and deliberate, you cannot replace this feeling on like when it comes to confidence. And that's where I think the Changan CS35 Plus excels at. The steering feel. It feels really good. It feels really confident. From what I can tell, from what I'm testing now, the Changan CS35 Plus feels really good to drive. Even with the transmission it comes with, it could be better, but it's good. When you include the really nice steering on this car, oh man, I must say, like, the driving experience with this car, I'm impressed. I'm really impressed with this car. I read the comment section and I know some of you will have their reservations on this car. And that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. But also in the comment section, I see way more people who are more open to the idea of having more choices, as long as it delivers value for money. Even if I show you that this unit has driven more than 100,000 kilometers, I'm sure that some of you will still have doubt of the Changan CS35 Plus. But for Changan Philippines to lend us this unit and to show off that this has driven over 100,000 kilometers is a pretty bold statement, and I must commend the company for that. From what I've tested, even after all that travel, this car feels really good to drive. Okay, so I just got confirmation, guys. The price as tested of this car right here is going to be, at this time of recording, 999,000 pesos. Who is this car for? At its price tag, it's easy to say, those who really want bang for their buck. For those who are looking for a crossover below 1,000,000 pesos with a lot more room, I have to say, at its price point, it's hard to look for a bigger car that offers this much equipment. It's also for those who are willing to be early adopters of the Changan brand. If you're wondering, it's the wet type dual clutch transmission.